Hello, everyone, and thank you for visiting the Management Channel. We are in the Team Dynamics section, and now we're going to talk about team motivation and morale. Employee morale must be everybody's concern. It needs to be at a high level as possible without sacrificing any production or the company's objectives. Some companies have actually implemented workspace spirituality in an effort to make work environment more meaningful and creative by relating work to employees' personal values and their spiritual beliefs. Now, there are external and internal factors influencing employee morale. The external ones are their family relationships, the care of children or elderly parents in some cases, if they're having financial difficulty or problems with friends or neighbors, they're having a series of vehicle breakdowns, or even sickness or death in the family. Internal factors are their compensation, their job security, the nature of the work that they perform, how are they getting along with their coworkers, what are the working conditions like, good, bad, or unhealthy, and are they getting recognition for a job well done? Things that could affect on-the-job performance could be substance abuse, the company's downsizing, so that's going to weigh on everybody else's mind who's left behind. Then, of course, everybody has personal life issues. Maybe somebody has alcohol. I'm having a problem here. Alcohol problems, or maybe there's incivility amongst their environment. So, how do you assess employee morale? The key indicators are their job performance levels and whether they're absent or tardy a lot. If they're not, then that means they're pretty much okay with the job. Could be an indicator is the changes amount of waste or scrap they have, or the complaints that they have. Accident and safety records, any changes in daily working relationships could all be key indicators of an employee morale, good or bad. Whenever someone leaves the company, HR should conduct an exit interview. It's an interview with the individuals who leave a firm that are used to assess morale and the reasons for employee turnover. Why did the person decide to leave? Was it for a good reason, or was it because they're not happy there? Also, there are attitude surveys. You take a survey of employee opinions about major aspects of organizational life, and in that you can use to assess morale. Organizational development is meeting with groups under the guidance of a neutral conference leader to try to solve problems that are hindering organizational effectiveness and affecting employee morale. So you got to be the coach as a leader or supervisor of a group or team. So as a manager or leader of a team within an organization, you really have to do more than just tell them what to do. Coaching is more often training your people and developing their talent, helping them see they can achieve more. Sometimes they know what to do, but they just need that inspiration or recognition for what they do. Is there a formula for individual performance? Yes, there is. The performance of a team member is a function of three things: their abilities, their motivations, and their opportunity. Basically, there are two things that you need to understand how to motivate employees, and they are the expectations must be made clear, and the fulfillment of the expectations must be reinforced. So you need to ask yourself, how clear are the standards regarding the tasks that your team members are performing? Are they real clear, or could they be a little foggy and undefined? To what extent are you helping team members receive feedback regarding the fulfillment of their expectations? What are the reinforcers? What are the rewards or the deterrents? I hate to use the word punishment. Recognize the people that differ greatly and what is important to them. What is important for managers to do when judging and evaluating? Simply, the best managers spend more time focusing on the employee's strengths rather than their weaknesses. Look for the good in all of your employees. Some managers look for the bad. and that's the wrong way to approach it. There are 4 principles of providing reinforcement. There's positive reinforcement, providing members with something desirable. There's punishment or negative reinforcement, providing something undesirable if the person fails to fulfill the expectations. Negative reinforcement is providing an opportunity to avoid receiving something undesirable. And extinction is ignoring completely the behavior you want to see go away. That's the wrong thing to do. You don't turn your head and act like it isn't there. Maslow, who was a great practitioner of motivation, had established a hierarchy. And he said only the unmet needs require motivation. Makes sense. If they already have attained something, there's nothing there to motivate. People's needs are arranged in order of importance for basic to complex. The satisfaction of the lower level needs precedes the satisfaction of the higher level needs. Lower level needs are basically like security, able to provide a home. Higher level needs, promotion, new truck, etc. There are 5 levels of needs: physiological, safety, social, esteem needs, and self-actualization needs. So to create team member motivation, what are some of the factors you could provide? Well, desirability, the value of achieving the goal. Feasibility, the likelihood that you can achieve the goal. Progress, your accomplishments as you work toward reaching that goal. Reward, the payoff when you reach the goal. And then let people know how they're doing and give them praise. Provide rewards for work well done. Verbal, pizza party, raise, promotion, whatever. So the nature of motivation, it's a psychological process through which unsatisfied wants or needs lead to drives that are aimed at goals or incentives. You have your unsatisfied need. Now there's a drive towards satisfying that need, and then you are happy or satisfied when you attain that goal. There are 2 underlying assumptions. The universalist assumption, motivation process is universal. All people are motivated to pursue the goals that they value. The process is universal. However, motivation differs across cultures. People in different countries are motivated differently. The assumption of content and process. Content theories of motivation are those theories that explain work motivation in terms of what arouses, energizes, excites, or initiates some kind of employee behavior. Process theories are those that explain work motivation by how employee behavior is initiated, redirected, and halted. Individual motivation mostly is based upon task. Is it interesting or is it tedious? Is it easy or is it difficult? Is it boring or is it challenging? Task interdependence. Everyone working together or only certain people doing most of the work? Evaluations and rewards. Individual and team-based. What will the benefit be for the individual? What's the benefit for the team? Team efficacy. Perception that the team is capable of performing well at the task. And team commitment and cohesion. Everyone working together with the same input, the same enthusiasm, and everyone is getting along well in a perfect world. So managing some threats to team performance. How can a team be more motivated about a task? When the task is interesting, involving, and challenging, it's more motivating. A task is meaningful when it provides the opportunity to use a variety of skills and not just one mundane task. Help others learn as well. Team cohesion is very important. It's the enhanced sense of commitment and attraction to the group, how well they get along. It's the interpersonal bonds that hold that group. Building that cohesion, you need to have similar attitudes and personal goals. They need to spend time together. Use smaller teams, 5 to 6. 10 to 12 makes it a little difficult. and try to have some kind of group incentive. To building that cohesion, you want to have training in social interaction skills, obviously some training in their task skills. You want to have team success and rewards for success, and you want to make sure you monitor closely team leader behavior. So some components of team dynamics, cohesiveness, how it affects. Cohesive teams have a higher level of success at achieving their objectives with greater job satisfaction. Cohesive team members don't miss work very much. They're more trusting, they're less stressed, they have less tension, they're less hostile. Implications for the managers. Managers must strive to develop cohesive groups that accept their level of productivity. Participation helps develop cohesiveness, and managers should focus on inter-group competition and not intra-group competition. Roles. Roles are shared expectations of how the group members will fulfill their requirements of the position they attain in the team. People develop their roles based on their own expectations, the expectations of the organization, and also the expectations of the group or team. People often have multiple roles within the same position. Group roles may be classified as task roles, maintenance roles, or self-interest roles. What is role ambiguity? A person fulfilling a role may not understand what is really expected of them, so therefore it creates uncertainty and maybe possible hostility from group members who are upset or disappointed in the role failure, the person not doing their job. Of course, they may not understand what their job is. That's why it's important you keep things clear. Role conflict. When a member occupies several roles at the same time with conflicting demands or personal conflict within a role. For instance, being promoted to the boss now, but still trying to remain a friend to everyone else you worked with. Role conflict leads to stress, decreased satisfaction and morale. It increases turnover and definitely decreased participation. Task behavior, focus on the group's goals and tasks. Social behavior, focus on the social and emotional needs of the group members to maintain some good social relations. Teams with good social behavior are better prepared to handle both pressure and stress. So, some guidelines for using reinforcement. Make sure employees know what behavior is expected and reinforced. Select some appropriate rewards. Select the appropriate reinforcement schedule. Do not reward poor or mediocre performance, only good performance. Look for the positive, give praise regularly rather than focusing on negative or criticizing. Do things for your employees instead of to them, and you will see that productivity increases. Some of the things you can do, you can have variable pay, you can have bonuses. The company could provide profit sharing or stock options. Those things tend to motivate employees also. It's above and beyond their normal day-to-day pay. Give praise. Tell the employee exactly what was done correctly. That's great when you walk by and say, hey, I noticed you did this and that today. Super job. Thank you. Tell the employee why the behavior is important. Stop for a moment of silence and encourage that repeat performance. So team adaptation and learning. Cohesive teams are able to adapt to changing situations. They're able to change when the environment or the tasks change. The development of shared mental models is a common understanding about tasks and operations of the team. If they're cohesive, teams show more ability to coordinate activities, solve problems, and perform effectively. Use feedback effectively. The best feedback is positive and negative. Only give positive to preserve group harmony. Only negative to focus on improvement. But Don't make it personal. Make it about the task. Keep feedback at a balance. Need to know what went well and what we need to improve on. Create a safe environment so all employees' questions and issues can be brought up without fear of any kind of retaliation. Managing threats to team performance, there's what's called risky shift. In a group, people are likely to make riskier decisions. However, they may not want to let colleagues down, so they become risk averse, kind of playing it safe. Innocent bystander effect is members feel their personal responsibility is limited as others will step up and act. The assumptions are that they don't have to do anything, the others will take action. Choking. Pressure of others can create pressure and anxiety that individual performance could be hindered. Left unmanaged, a handful of people will do the majority of talking, which leads to uneven communication and not getting everyone's ideas, only limited participation. Free rider. People who perform very little in a group because they don't believe their individual efforts are important, and they're going to receive rewards regardless of their efforts, so they let others do the work. Social loafing. Situation in which some people do not work as hard in groups as they do individually. They let others do all the work. So that's what they're kind of doing, like a free ride. Sucker aversion. Everyone wants to avoid being taken advantage of, so team members will hedge their efforts and wait to see what other members will do. Social conformity. Members strive so hard to maintain harmony and cohesion that they end up avoiding the discomforts of disagreement. Sucker effect. Good performers slack off in teams because they do not want others to take advantage of their effort. So, there's a lot that goes on in team meetings, and as a leader or manager, you really need to be aware of that. I suggest also you view Team Meetings lecture. Thank you for watching, and I hope you have a wonderful day.